Basketball Champions League game against SIG Strasbourg. Aussi, bonsoir et bienvenue ici à Sons pour les supporters, l'équipe et l'entourage. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the presentation of both teams, starting with SIG Strasbourg. Playing tonight for SIG Strasbourg, number 0, Travis Trace. Number 1, Scotty Reynolds. Number 5, number F, please welcome Number 7, Daniel Nicholas. Number 9, Jacob Music. Number 11, Thomas Frey.
Well, SIG Strasbourg now definitely going to make sure they're going to try and get to another victory here. As you mentioned, these two teams met last season in what was a very, very competitive fixture. Both these two teams met on the final day, which was going to go in the favor of Filou Oostende, and all they had to do was win the game. But Strasbourg took the game to overtime, in which a big three-pointer by Quinton Saron sealed the deal for them. SIG Strasbourg came up with a big victory that prevented Oostende going into the final round there of the Basketball Champions League last season. So this game definitely has a lot of flavor to it. But one thing about the basketball here in the Flanders country is that they have dominated the domestic leagues of Belgian basketball. They are, without a doubt, a team that needs to definitely perform very well here at the Basketball Champions League stage. Because remember, the Giants Antwerp showed the entire Europe by making that Final Four last year. So no doubt, Filou Oostende are going to want to make sure, after many years of being in this competition, they're trying to get to the next stage. Well, it's all to play for here tonight, here in the Flanders country. And we're live for game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. Coach Dario been with the club for so long, and as we mentioned, a team that has been lopsidedly dominating the domestic scenes. Jean-Marc Wemmen there, you can see as well, one of their high-energy players, but Coach Dario, a very experienced coach, knows that he's got to come up with the results tonight. Both these two teams, 3 wins and 4 losses, have to ensure that tonight is a big result for them. Gabe York, that you can see last season playing for Ike as well, but also 2 seasons ago had a very big year for Manny Bayreuth. He unfortunately lost in the last 16 against MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. And like Gabe York, definitely you could spread the floor. I mean, you can shoot the ball from all over. We'll just get set to introduce our officials. We got Tolga Shahin, Michael Prok, and Gintaras Mashulis from Lithuania, Poland, and Italy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud to say we have some of the finest officials here in world basketball. They've done an excellent job in all of our competitions, and now continue to do so here tonight. Game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. We're now heading into the final stretch of the regular season. Remember, these 2 teams met on opening day, which was a very heatedly contested fixture. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned last season, I mean, last time these 2 teams met last year was in that final game that Oostende just had to win. But if you look at the starting lineup, SIG Strasbourg, we got Damian Inglis, Thomas Shrub, Gabe York, and Dre Grant, along with Scotty Reynolds, all making the starting lineup. And that's a very, very athletic starting 5 with also some perimeter shooters and the likes of Gabe York, as we mentioned. Just get set now to look at the starting lineup for Filou Oostende, of course. And again, I will be very, very interested to see if they go with a similar starting lineup as last week. Of course, Vincent Collet, his work with the French national team, of course, and now he's set on his mind to make sure that his team, as they weren't able to qualify for the final stage of the Basketball Champions League last year, is to make sure that they improve on their 3-4 record. Remember, both these 2 teams with equal records here in Group A. Whoever wins this game could definitely propel themselves into the second half of the regular season. Filou Oostende have gone with Brian Angola, Dusan Djordjevic, Siobhan Thompson, Anna Silla, and Jean-Marc Muena. Jean-Marc Muena, we saw, started to develop a new part of his game, which was a little bit inconsistent, of course. He's trying to shoot a lot more perimeter shots, but man, he's more comfortable playing that power forward role. But we have trying to see him playing that 3 role. But there you see Coach Dario, a man who's been with his club and sort of shaped the franchise and really propelled it to its sort of high standards of clarity in domestic leagues in Belgium. But he knows one thing. In the years they've been in the Basketball Champions League, he has to make sure they come up big this year. I mean, probably one of the top 10 most experienced teams here in the Basketball Champions League, but haven't been able to get out of the first round of the regular season. Tempo, as we mentioned, will be key for both of these 2 teams. They got to ensure that they get out on the break and really make sure they make it count from the perimeter. But one thing about Filou Oostende is they're not the best perimeter shooting team. For Strasbourg, it really has been hit and miss this season. A lot of games they've played, they've come up close, but a lot of unconvincing defeats as well. But one thing that will help them out for sure is having a player like Angola in the lineup. Again, such a versatile, but Djordjevic, one of the more experienced back players, but again, a veteran player. Experience does pay off, but they've got to ensure they play that high-tempo basketball and really make this home court a fortress. You play like Gabe York in the lineup, you've got to make sure you get a hand up and don't give him any time and space. I mean, this is a guy that is very trigger-happy, loves to pull up all over the court. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us here tonight. It's game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. We're heading into the second half of the regular season. Both these 2 teams met on opening night of the Basketball Champions League, and now they meet for a second time. Remember, last year, Oostende, all they had to do, they won 6 out of their last 7 and just needed 1 victory. They were up by 3 points, and it was the local homeboy, Quinton Saron, who was playing for Strasbourg, nailed the 3-pointer, taking it into overtime. And Filou Oostende's hearts were broken. They were unable to make the second round. But tonight could be different. Remember, these 2 teams, equal records in Group A, 3-4. Fortunes must change, that's for sure. Well, The officials are set now. We're ready for tip, and it's going to get underway. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. We're live here in the Flounders. Well, neither of these two teams really with a true center in their lines. I mean, they've got big players down low. I mean, Dry Grant is definitely a natural power forward, but he's going to have to play a center role tonight. Djordjevic on the ball early. One of their most experienced players now on the ball. So here's it down low to the big fella. Kicks one out to Djordjevic. Wants to go pick and roll now. Under 10 on the shot clock. Well, kicks a very tough pass to Jean-Marc Mwene. He's got to force up a circus shot, fading away. No good with the offensive rebound. They don't go back with a tip up. On the basket. It's got to be 3 seconds in the key. What a foul. So now it looks like Filou Oostende. Siobhan Thompson's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots now. I just wonder how long he was there for. I mean, it's well over 3 seconds. Thompson will shoot 2 free throws. Originally from Clarendon Parish, Jamaica, but played his high school basketball, university basketball at George Mason. A brief stint in the G League with a few teams, and also played a season in Turkey. He just come this season now to the Flemish country, where he makes a 2nd free throw. Strasbourg now down the other end. Gonna go with Scotty Reynolds. Scotty Reynolds featured for Team USA in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers and was a definite regular. Throw it down low now, spins, goes baseline, bit of contact, fades away in the lane, doesn't get it. Thompson gets a rebound, and now Djordjevic can push in transition. Djordjevic comes up one screen, goes down low to the big fella. The big fella goes in the middle, puts up another jump hook with his left hand and tucks it away. Siobhan Thompson now getting 2 good looks in the low block, and it's just a sweet little jump hook with his left hand. Reynolds off one screen now, looking for the pop. Goes baseline with it. Turns it over again. Poor play by SIG Strasbourg. And now Filou Oostende can push in transition. Crosses over, gets his pocket pick. Goes out of bounds, so it will be sideline ball to the home side. Shrub unable to come up with the steal. Did well to put his hand in the cookie jar and just get that slight little touch on it, but wasn't able to come up with it. Thompson goes hand up with Djordjevic. His baseline now. Only a bit of contact up the backboard. Strong move by Brandon Gola. Again, just gave it a slight pump fake, and look at the contact here. Strasbourg have to be a lot more aggressive on defense. It's just too easy right now for Filou Oostende. Now with Gabe York. Now you can see right now Filou Oostende are not giving him any time and space on the perimeter. They know the damage he can cause there. Pick and roll, and looks like it's going to be another turnover. Inglis unable to keep it alive off the pick and roll. This is a tough pass he got off there. See here, there's a screen, and well, actually it's Djordjevic. That's great defense by the veteran. Dusan Djordjevic. What he doesn't make up for in athleticism, his brains and intelligence is just second to none here. Down low to Thompson now. This is what Thompson wants. Kicks out to Djordjevic. Djordjevic goes down the middle, bumps, fades away in the lane, takes the jump shot, tucks it away. Dusan Djordjevic. It's just that slight bit of contact there, and then step back fade away. I mean, that is unguardable. That is years of experience. Another turnover. SIG Strasbourg literally unable to come in with any rhythm at the moment. Scotty Reynolds, Thomas Shrub, and you can see Gabe York just caught it in the corner. Tough situation. Thompson now. Thompson fakes the pass. Now Thompson turns it over. Now here comes the opportunity, fast break. Bit of contact. Reynolds in the lane, hangs in the air, doesn't get it. Miss attempted now. Djordjevic can push in transition. Djordjevic now looking for Thompson, throws it down low to the big man. Big man able to keep it alive. And it turns over again. Sloppy passage of play from both these two teams. Reynolds now doesn't use a screen, but gets a pop-off. Goes baseline, good cut, and just lays it up with his inside hand. Strong move by Thomas Schrubb, but again, the pass coming from Dre Grant. Well, Dre Grant, the nephew of four-time NBA champion Horace Grant, from also his father as well. Harvey Grant was in the NBA, but off the screen, Jean-Marc Buena. We talked about the perimeter range starting to develop in this game, and just coming off the dribble, Jean-Marc Buena does elevate very high as Reynolds tries a three, and there's a slight touch, and Filou Oostende save it. Thompson transition, catched it under the basket, got to go up with it. Somehow, someway, the big man at the full court, like a wide receiver, and two guys on him, just too big, just too strong. Here comes the isolation now. Low block, goes baseline, puts up a wild circus shot, but Damian Inglis did so well there just to lay it up off the glass. And it looked like it was out of control, but just able to kiss it off the glass. Off the screen now. Djordjevic looks like he's going to go a pick and roll with Thompson. Now Thompson wide open. Buena tries a perimeter shot, doesn't get it. Well, he does take a lot of three-pointers, Jean-Marc Buena. We've seen that for the last 3 years here in the Champions League, but again, a very inconsistent part of his game. Off one screen now, pulls up from 15 feet, doesn't get it with SIG Strasbourg. Right now, really unable to get in that groove, and credit to the man-to-man defense by Filou Oostende. Djordjevic throws it down low, good hands on the basket. Now Thompson, but there you can see Gabe York. Outside defense was able just to come over and put his hand in. Right here for Gabe York, just spots it and just does enough now. That's great defense by SIG Strasbourg. Scotty Reynolds now is going to go to the bench, take a breather. Baseline ball now to Filou Oostende. Missing him down again. It's way too easy for Filou Oostende. I mean, the defense off the ball from SIG Strasbourg. There's not enough hands in the passing lane, but that's a lot better now. Turnover. Again, it's Gabe York. Well, Gabe York's doing such a good job of just coming over on the weak side, and well, that time he fronted the post player, but just did enough. Thompson very frustrated. This now gives up to Dre Grant. Dre Grant gets a hand up from Gabe York. York time and space in the lane. York goes up with his left hand, and Gabe York goes in with a slight finger roll. Just gets it to drop. Gabe York now goes to his first 2 points of the game in the lane, draws a foul. It looks like Angola's going to go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. Well, it's just lazy help side defense. I mean, they got to come over and be a little bit more aggressive in situation. Anytime you have to reach, you're just begging to get called for a foul. Brian Angola, originally from Colombia, played his university basketball at Florida State. Went undrafted and then had a season with the Lakeland Magic in the NBA G League. Makes 2 free throws. Lead now 13-6 in favor of Filou Oostende. Look at the significance of this game of what happened last year at the end of final game of the regular season. Goes in the lane, doesn't get the and-1, and Gabe York now will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Well, the movement off the ball is just so good from Gabe York.
First foul by mistakes.
York makes the first free throw. Young man from California, only 26 years of age, played at the University of Arizona. Started his career in Italy before having a brief stint in the G League with the Erie Bay Hawks, and as we mentioned, playing for Mehdi Bayreuth in the 2018 regular season. Also played for Ike last year. This is now his 3rd team here in the Basketball Champions League. He makes the 2nd free throw. One thing about Gabe York is you give him any time or space, he will pull the trigger from the perimeter. quite a hard screen setup. Very lucky not to get away with that. This is over now, takes in the lane, forces this one out, and it's another turnover. Van der Verst again just went down the middle and just threw the ball away. It's got to be better than that. I mean, Silla just wasn't ready for it. You can see Coach Dario saying, "What are you doing?" In the lane now, kicks this one out. Well, they get a wide open look from the perimeter. Three is up. The three is good. Well, tucks it away from downtown. Early look there by Thomas Shrub. He now moves up to 5 points. Well, that's the first three-pointer of the game hidden, and it wasn't done by Gabe York. It was done by Thomas Shrub, and Shrub just did well, but it started with the penetration kick out. Still now looking for Thompson. Goes up for a tough shot from 15 feet, doesn't get it. Shrub with the rebound, and now SIG Strasbourg can push. Gives this one up to Drake Grant now. Drake Grant tries from 15 feet, tucks it away, and he ties the ball game up at 13 apiece. And Drake Grant, who doesn't usually take a lot of jump shots, just found a bit of confidence there from 15 feet. And that's his first 2 points of the game. Gola now coming off one screen, doesn't use it. Got it by Gabe York, kicks out to Silla. Van der Verst goes down the middle. Tries a jump shot, doesn't get it. Goes out of bounds now. Well, Silla tried to go in for another rebound, couldn't get it, but I don't see why that would be SIG Strasbourg ball. I mean, it probably would be a foul if anything, but it looks like it came off the hand of Dallo. Drake Grant goes to the bench, takes a breather. Almost turns it over. He tries a lob pass, but throws it away. I mean, a careless pass, and now Filou Oostende can push in transition. Pulls up from 15 feet, takes a jump shot, doesn't get it. And Strasbourg can push. Going down the middle, bumping with everyone, and again, fumbles the ball. SIG Strasbourg now. Again, both teams really just need to get in that rhythm as Traore gets the ball, gets a handoff. Back to Traore. Another kick out. They try a three. The three is up. The three's in and out. And that was a lot better. Simple penetration. Kick the ball out to the wide open shooter, but it got to make the shot. We'll just go with over a minute and a half. Van der Verst now on the ball for Filou Oostende. Golden now gives up to Jean-Marc Moena. Off the screen, throws it down low to Thompson under the basket. Well, traveling violation called before the 24-second violation. Siobhan Thompson very frustrated with himself. Well, Damian Inglis will go to the bench and take a little bit of a breather, along with Siobhan Thompson. So now the Filou Oostende have gone with a smaller lineup. Well, in the game as well for SIG Strasbourg is the local boy, Quinton Saron, who broke this team's heart last year. Well, goes down the middle, bit of contact, fades away out of bounds. He nails a layup. Well, Dallo there just went all the way. Slight contact. That's what happens when you go with a smaller lineup and you take Siobhan Thompson out of the game. Makes the backcourt defense very vulnerable. We got a timeout now. Filou Oostende want to talk it over. Both teams 5 and 6 of 11 from the field, 45 and 55%. It's only SIG Strasbourg. And the field goal they made is the 1 3-pointer. Filou Oostende right now haven't been able to get many looks from the perimeter. The only 3-point shots they've had is from Jean-Marc Moena. And the this is a team that, this level, you have to shoot the ball well from three-point land if you want to be a good team here in the Basketball Champions League.
Hey, cut this way. 5 men stay, so we have this option. Hey, guys, play 1-on-1. 3 balls for the line. Hey, you will play basketball on 1. Hey, wow. Do something.
You can see the visiting fans making the short journey up from France. One thing about this arena here is that the atmosphere can get very electrifying. We saw that many times last year. Remember, in the final 7 games of the Basketball Champions League last year, Filou Oostende won 6 of those 7. And as I mentioned, Quentin Serron, who plays for SIG Strasbourg, made that three-pointer. Took the game into overtime. Filou Oostende, all they had to do was win that game to get into the final stages of the Basketball Champions League, but just wasn't meant to be. Takes it down now, kicks out to Van der Vos. Another turnover, sloppy play from Filou Oostende now. SIG Strasbourg, they're going to slow this one down. And Zuli now throws it down low to Traore. Traore gets fouled. Now he's on number 14. Servas Boychet.
First foul, number 14,
Well, Boychak now, you can see, just had hands all in the back and just kind of, I wouldn't say intentionally, but just a bit carelessly pushed him over. Serron now on the ball, heavily guarded. Serron in the lane, dish off to Traore, tries a 10-foot jump shot off the backboard. Tucked it away, beautiful jump shot by Ali Traore. The assist coming for Quentin Serron. That's his first 2 points of the game. And now we got 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. Game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. He's off one screen now, pulls up from 15 feet off the dribble, doesn't get it. Try to tip back of Brent. Gets the offensive, but one more chance. Still can't get it. And at the end of the first quarter, it is the visitors, SIG Strasbourg, who lead this one 17-13. Remember, Filou Oostende came out in the first quarter leading 7-0. Very sloppy passage of play, and both teams are in the first quarter. And that is as it stands here at the end of the first. Well, so far, SIG Strasbourg now 6 for 9 from within the rainbow, 1 for 3 from the perimeter. Filou Oostende haven't made a three-point field goal, but shooting 50% from within the rainbow. We'll just show you some highlights now here from the first quarter.
Make some noise for the Coca-Cola International crew. Vamos a clap your hands.
SIG Strasbourg now will get the first possession. Begin play here at the second quarter. Came out very slow in the first stage of the first quarter, but they weren't able to get into any rhythm and just started forcing the issue too much as Traore comes up and sets the screen. Now Quentin Serron reversed the ball, and Zuli now will take the three-point. He can't make these, but doesn't get it. Now Filou Oostende will push in transition. Jump up one and out, looking to throw the ball down low. The big fella backs down against Jaume and Zuli. He's down the middle, right jump up, gets it to drop right off the backboard, and again, Serron moved by the big man. That is Servas Baishat. Well, it looks like now Filou Oostende have gone into a 2-3 zone. And again, is that a smart decision to play against a team like SIG Strasbourg, who will light it up from the perimeter? Zuli goes down the middle, goes with a little Euro step, kicks it back out again. A few seconds. Saran made the big three last year. Does look at this one. He's open 2 from the perimeter. Well, the local homegrown boy who made that three that took it in overtime last year, so far hasn't made a three-point field goal tonight. Goes baseline, draws the foul. Foul looks like it's on Jaume and Zuli, so we'll be baseline ball now to Filou Oostende. That's a smart move. As soon as he got it, he span out, went baseline, and offside defense by Ali Traore prevented him from making an easy basket. Gets it in right now, fakes the pass. Bumps goes in, off the backboard, ties the game up. Vandervers, all of a sudden, just coming to life. He made that early turnover, but gets his first 2 points of the game. Reynolds now gives up to Nzuli. Nzuli now, Nzuli looks at it, didn't take it. Dish off to Traore. Traore goes in the lane. Traore gets it. It's coming from Jaume Nzuli. Ali Traore now 2 for 2 from the field. He moves up to 4 points. Cross court to Vandervers. Vandervers goes baseline, gets down one. Oh no, sorry, basket no good. I mean, foul was called before the shot. I don't know, I mean, looks like he was in the process of, I think the argument would be is that he hadn't taken his second step, but a lot of times you do see those M1s given, but they pulled the foul on the ground, so we'll be sideline ball now to Filou Oostende. SIG Strasbourg lead this one 19-17 here in game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, make sure you download the Basketball Champions League app where you can follow all your favorite players and teams. It's Filou Oostende turn it over. Regular updates and news. Remember, this game had so much significance coming into it. I mean, it's only game day 8, of course, of this season, but go back to last year when that man there made that three-pointer. The time the game would go into overtime, in which Filou Oostende had won 6 out of their last 7. We're in contention to make it to the playoffs. Lost in overtime for SIG Strasbourg, and the victory for the visitors at that time had little relevance other than spoiling the party for the team here in the Flounders. Down low to Ali Traore. Traore backs down aggressively in the lane, turns it over now. They got a fast break situation. It's a 2-on-3. Gives up to Vandervers. Off the missed a layup. The follow-up is no good. And now Quinton Saran gets it. She transition now with Scotty Reynolds. Reynolds is fouled hard. Now is on Yannick Desseron. Scotty Reynolds is a nightmare to got in. Well, Desseron's got to be careful. I mean, hasn't even attempted to play the ball. That could be deemed as an unsportsmanlike, but Traore's got to be more aggressive in the low block. Down the middle now. Just shot to Saran. Saran goes baseline. Missed the layup. Doesn't get it. Tips his own shot back in. Quinton Saran, the Belgian international, played very well. Biggest game he had for the Belgian national team in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers was against Bosnia-Herzegovina away, in which they only lost by 3 points, but had a stellar performance. Vandervers now crosses over, almost loses his dribble. Got by Jaume Nzuli. Top of the key, pulls the trigger, nails a jump shot. And Yannick Desseron just gets it to drop as he cuts it back down to a 2-point deficit, gets his first 2 points of the game. And they try a 3 from deep, and the 3's no good, but Traore gets a rebound. Kicks one out to Nzuli. 7 on the shot clock now. Saran in the lane, kicks out to Scotty Reynolds. Well, someone's got to shoot the ball. Baseline, Saran contact, gets rejected. 24-second violation. Well, it hasn't been a great homecoming now for Quinton Saran. You can see the jump shot by Desseron. Vandervers now gives in the lane to Desseron. Desseron makes the contact, doesn't get the and-1. He will go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. Well, beautiful build-up play there. Simple cut to the basket. And again, once he got into the paint, just made that contact, but looks like Vincent Collet is going to call timeout. His team are going to talk it over. This foul is on Scotty Reynolds. You can see both teams here really unable to sort of get momentum going to really kill this game off. I mean, well, SIG Strasbourg have been taking more perimeter shots, but just haven't been able to nail them down. They've only made one three-pointer. Filou Oostende are leading the rebounds 11-9. 7 of those being defensive, of course, and only 4 offensive rebounds. And I haven't seen a lot of these players going for a lot of second chance points, but maybe that will change as the game goes on.
We must try to go inside first, okay? Allez, let's go!
Standing at 6'10" again is one thing about DeSero is he runs the floor so well for a big man. Again, one of their academy products coming into the prime years, 27 years of age, makes it 2 for 2 from the stripe. It's a game of 21 apiece. I would have thought coming into this game, SIG Strasbourg, especially when a stand in the 2-3 zone, they would try to get more looks from the perimeter. Now, Reynolds gives up to Nzuli, and Nzuli back out to Scotty Reynolds. Thought about it this time, pulls the trigger a little bit short. And against the zone, they just got to move the ball a lot quicker and just try and get some more open looks. At the moment, it's just moving too slow. Dusan Djordjevic checks back into the game now for Filou Oostende. Six on the shot clock now. He's got to get something going to the basket. Well, it's a long 2-foot on the line. Trying to go off the backboard, didn't get it. And now Reynolds a push in transition. Gabe York crosses over top of the zone, and that was a smart play. Again, at this level, when you see teams play a 2-3 zone, there you can see Gabe York trying to go fake the dribble handoff and gave it a quick crossover. Djordjevic now raises his hand to acknowledge the foul called against him. In the lane too easy, missed the wide open layup. Djordjevic able to save the ball. Well, just over 5.5 to go here in the second quarter. Remember, this is game day of the Basketball Champions League. Both these two teams 3-4 in Group A. Neither of them sitting in the top 4. Tries another long distance shot and doesn't get it. Top of the high post now. Not sure what to do with it. Traore goes in with a jump hook way off the mark. Well, this is something both teams have got to do. They got to make sure they keep moving the ball. In the case of Filou Oostende, it's just to break down the man-to-man defense. But for SIG Strasbourg, they got to break the zone better. All the way to the basket, hangs in the air, misses another layup. Traore with a rebound. And now Scotty Reynolds can push in transition. Goes baseline, draws a foul. It's now the 13th foul for Filou Oostende on base shot. It just went baseline, made that little bit of contact. Damien Inglis. Dre Grind now checks back into the game. Just to give him that bit of size advantage. Reynolds now goes baseline, throws it down low to Inglis. Inglis backs down now. Throws a wild pass and goes out of bounds, and I don't think he knew who to give it out to. As soon as the double team came over, it's almost like he panicked. There's a double team right there, and wasn't aware of who was open. Well, there was Djordjevic just saving the ball from going out of bounds in the previous play. And here he is down the other end. Pick and roll. What a pass under the basket. Got to go open it off the backboard. But again, all about Dusan Djordjevic. Able to spot out Yannick Desseron. One thing about Djordjevic is we talk about the vision he has. And just to come off that screen and make that pass. He just now kicks this one out. Well, he's made 1-3, takes another one. Doesn't get it. And now Filou Oostende can push in transition. Vandervest now comes up one screen, crosses over, makes a bit of contact, pump fakes. Oh, he missed a layup. Well, it was a beautiful move. Got all the way to the basket, but just couldn't finish it. Reynolds baseline, almost turns it over. Gabe Walker's screaming, but now Reynolds for three in the corner. Scotty Reynolds nails it from downtown. And he gets his first 3 points of the game. And that's what you got to do against a 2-3 zone. You got to move the ball. And again, Gabe York was frustrated that Damian Inglis did give the ball to him earlier because he was wide open. As soon as he got the ball, defense already reacted, shifted over, but he was able to spot a wide open Scotty Reynolds in the corner. Djordjevic now comes up one screen. What does he have? Fakes the pass, gives it to him in the end. Surrin under the basket. Looks at the base shot. Base shot goes in with a wild jump hook, doesn't get it. And now SIG Strasbourg building the 1-point lead. Inglis had the shot, almost turned it over. Clem goes baseline, bumps in the lane. Bit of contact, goes up, gets fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Well, we got a timeout now, as these two teams are going to want to talk it over. I mean, both teams, you can see, just not coming off to the right start they would have wanted. I mean, getting some good looks, but right now, for the case of SIG Strasbourg, as we mentioned, it's about breaking down that 2-3 zone. And Filou Oostende playing, but for Oostende, they've got to do better against the man-to-man defense. Both teams now with 10 and 9 field goals. And 8 of those coming from within the rainbow. You just have to move the ball, but Filou Oostende have yet to make a perimeter shot. Again, you come out and stop making 3-pointers. You can spread the floor and make the defense shift, but just haven't been able to do that tonight. Percentage-wise, Djordjevic would be their best option from the perimeter, but he hasn't been able to get many good looks from the 3-point lines this evening. Well, 2 free throws now for Inglis. And again, something he did so well. He's got the size and power just to back down. And if you get to the free throw line a lot more this evening, you could probably just start to build in the lead. They've got Filou Oostende 1 foul away from putting themselves in the penalty. Makes it 2 for 2 from the stripe. Puts a 3-point lead up now for SIG Strasbourg. Djordjevic now on the ball, heavily guarded by Scotty Reynolds. Throws it down low. 7 on the shot clock now. Has to kick this one out to Jean-Marc Buena. And it goes baseline. He's got to throw a shot up. Steps back, big 3. The front rim didn't get it. It's a tough shot, but again, it's just not a good look from the perimeter. York now off the screen, dish off to Drake Grant under the basket. Good ball movement. Wow, just somehow, some way, he was able to spot Shrub under the basket. But what a pass from Drake Grant. 5-point lead now to SIG Strasbourg. Jean-Marc Buena now. Again, as we mentioned, does take a lot of 3-pointers in the game, and a lot of his game that's quite inconsistent. Does have some good nights, but some other times where just isn't able to make these shots. Now they have 3 seconds on the shot clock, and Vandervest unable to knock it down. Reynolds now double crossover, doesn't use the screen, kicks out the Shrub. Now Drake Grant Gives out to Gabe York. This is what he wants. Gabe York from downtown. That man cannot be left wide open. Did it last year for Ike. The year before that with Manny Bayreuth. And Gabe York sinks his first three-pointer. Well, gives an 8-point lead now to SIG Strasbourg. Still now kicks this one out. It's a wild pass. Takes it, well, doesn't take the deflection, sorry. Siobhan Thompson turn it over. Sorry, apologies to Siobhan Thompson. Actually, Silla tried to kick out to Vanderverst in the corner. Wasn't able to pick him out. Well, Djordjevic now goes to the bench, takes a little breather. Scotty Reynolds now comes up with it, kicks this one out to Shrub. Shrub back down the middle. Down low to Dre Grant. Dre Grant fades away but gets fouled. And now Dre Grant's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Dre Grant really isn't going anywhere. And well, it's definitely a foul. He's gone into him as he shot the ball. So Siobhan Thompson doesn't have many arguments there. Just like his father went to Clemson University. Did his high school basketball at DeMatha High School in Maryland, probably when his father, Avi Grant, was playing for the then Washington Bullets. Last year also played in the Basketball Champions League with Neptūnas Klaipėda in Lithuania. Missed the first free throw. He's also played for Une Cholon. Started his pro career in Australia in the NBL for the Sydney Kings, and again, had a very good experience in a very competitive. I think he misses 0 for 2 from the free throw line. You got to make your free throws. You never want to look back at a game here in the regular season of the Basketball Champions League thinking, had you made all your free throws, it could have been a different outcome. Tough pass and somehow gets it away, but takes a three-pointer from downtown. Still, they cannot hit a three-point field goal. Gabe York transition. Gabe York almost missed the layup, but just able to secure it. Now a 10-point lead to SIG Strasbourg. Comes off one screen now, goes pick and roll, almost turns over. Jean-Marc Mwena has to pull up from 10 feet, takes a jump shot, doesn't get it. Get the offensive rebound, it goes out of bounds. It will be baseline ball now to Filou Oostende. Gabe York, what a finish and what a finger roll. Well, I thought that was going to hit the back rim and come out, but it just goes in. We get the ball inbound to Silla. And on the shot clock now for Angola as he got the ball. Almost turns over, he does that. Dre Grant saves it. Dre Grant transition. Dre Grant first layup with the dunk. And he looks at the crowd to say, we mean business. Deja vu. Dre Grant with the up and under throwdown. Well, you gotta love this guy. He means business. Last season did it in Lithuania, here in the Basketball Champions League, and now this year is doing it for SIG Strasbourg. Master Collet looking very calm and collective with his team right at the moment. Now Jean-Marc Mwena. Now. He's up to Silla. Silla pulls the trigger from the perimeter and finally hits the first three-point field goal for Filou Oostende. And that is at the end of the first half. Almost got it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first half, it is the visitors, SIG Strasbourg, leading this one 35-26 against Filou Oostende. Remember, these two teams met last game of the Basketball Champions League in the regular season last year. Filou Oostende were seconds away from making the next round to the playoffs. The local boy Quinton Saron broke their hearts with the three-pointer and took it into overtime. Coach Dario's team right now, 9 for 22 from within the rainbow. Only 1 for 7 with that recent three by Silla. Rebounds equal apiece, 17 between these two teams with 8 and 10 assists. Both teams with 3 steals each. And he's got a lot to think about. Yannick Ciron, top scorer for Filou Oostende with 6. Gabe York now with 9 points for SIG Strasbourg. A lot to think about now. Remember, we're in the second half of the regular season of the Basketball Champions League. Go get a drink, go get something to eat, but don't go anywhere too long. We'll be back in 14 minutes for the second half here. Game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League live here in the Flounders.
Oh, nice pass to the inside, and the tough finish as Skoldilis just hammers it down. And Peristeri pretty much getting whatever they want at the moment.
Scrub has it. That's Grant. Grant with a step and finish. Big time finish from Jari Grant. Little hesitation, got Mustafa foul in the air. Look how quick he gets past him.
Hornsby with Weimer guarding him, screened by Amanu. Amanu gets it back, steps through, and he's blocked at the rim by Sealer. You've just seen him on the top 10 plays with a big block.
Just now. Oh, wonderful pass and a wonderful finish. What a big play by Masulis. But it was the pass from Janovic that made it so special.
Oh, great finish. Hayden Dalton, mask and all, throws it down, and it's going to get in a highlight. Shimandini, watch out! Oh! Just to underline the point, as athletic as Shimandini's looked for a while.
Medford. Hooping and hooping. I'll tell you what, when he gets in the flow, he's tough to stop.
Dennis hits the roll in. He stands and he gets up high. Oh, out of nothing. As Martin goes the other way, lobs it up. Stone it is with the dunk. Back-to-back dunks.
Right, still right, no good, ball's loose, they get it back, still, Angola to win it! That's extraordinary, that is incredible! Oostende, they are 2 ahead.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, now to the second half here at Game Day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. It is our host, Filou Oostende. We're down by 9 points against the visitors, SIG Strasbourg. Well, as we've already mentioned, deja vu in this game as these two teams met last season. And what was the decider of the outcome for Filou Oostende? Abe York now with Ike last year in the Basketball Champions League is 9 points with 5 for 3 from the field. One of those being from the perimeter. Very hot shooter. Well, last year was SIG Strasbourg, who were down by 3 with only seconds left, in which Filou Oostende had won 6 of their last 7 games and just needed a victory to cement a place in the next round of the playoffs. It was the homegrown boy from Oostende here in the Flounders country, Quinton Saron, who is still playing now for SIG Strasbourg, made that 3-pointer, sending the game into overtime and breaking the hearts of his home team crowd. I mean, Quinton Saron grew up watching Filou Oostende, playing for them as a youth player, representing Belgium as a national player. But he was the one who broke their hearts. Remember, Filou Oostende featured every year in the Basketball Champions League. Every season unable to get to the next round. Well, Siobhan Thompson leads with 5 rebounds. Dusan Djordjevic, the veteran, with 3 assists. But Yannick Desseron, head top scorer right now with 6 points. It's a collective effort right now from these players, but you just need to step it up. They've only had 1 3-point field goal made, and that was by Silla. So Filou Oostende have to turn things around here in the second half. Both of these two teams are 3 and 4 in the regular season of the Basketball Champions League, and really could do with a big result tonight. Propelled them in what they're now leading into the second spiral downward round of the regular season. It's 2 for 2 from the field and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. That is as 100% as you'll ever like, and I wonder if he can keep that high percentage. I mean, the outcome is if he doesn't shoot again, but he's going to have to keep running the floor. I mean, he's 6'10", in the prime now, 27 years of age. Played for this club for quite a while. Academy product. It's the thing when you don't have a lot of perimeter shooters in the case of Filou Oostende, it makes the game much more stressful when you have to sort of throw it down low, battle it with the bigs, and make a lot of penetrations going to the basket. But you know, players are going to have to step up at this level. This is the Basketball Champions League. This is game day 8. There's never a time to get good looks. I mean, it's not the case that these guys aren't great 3-point shooters. It's just they need to execute more effectively and get wide open looks. I mean, simple penetrations, kick out to wide open shooters. They just haven't done enough of that at the moment. A lot of times they're getting shots in the last few seconds of the shot clock where they got to force attempts up, and they've got to play more smooth and really play for each other. And one thing that was working that Coach Dario loves to execute is get the pick and roll going with Dusan Djordjevic. I mean, Djordjevic is possibly not only the most experienced player, but probably the player with the best vision who can really get things going. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go into a coaching career when he retires, and hopefully he doesn't retire anytime soon, because I still think he's got a lot of years left in him.
York, you will take scrap. Okay, spend the team foul. Okay, let's spend the smart team fouls till we have a chance. Okay. Other thing. Hey, think.
Well, SIG Strasbourg started to figure out how to break down the 2-3 zone, and I was very surprised to see Filou Oostende play a 2-3 zone when they got players in the lineup such as Gabe York and, to mention, Jaumian Zuli, who hasn't played a lot in the second quarter, but this is a team that will light it up in the perimeter. Now we start the second half as Dusan Djordjevic will be on the ball. He's at the Jean-Marc Buena. Takes it right down the middle. Aggressive drive, fades away in the paint. Gets the fadeaway to drop, and that's a better move there. Almost a replica of how Dusan Djordjevic did it in the first half. And again, just that better step and a slight fadeaway. Gives the ball up to down low. What a move by Gabe York. He tries his fadeaway. Gabe York doesn't get it. Djordjevic with the rebound, and now Jean-Marc Buena can push in transition. Just goes out of bounds, and Siobhan Thompson will get it sideline. Djordjevic now comes off one screen, bit of contact, kicks out to Silla. Silla pump fakes on the three-pointer. Well, probably should have pulled the trigger. Down low to Thompson. Thompson turns around left-handed, jump hook, doesn't get it. Well, Silla comes in recklessly. He almost took out his own teammate, but gets called for the over-the-back foul. Well, there's the jump hook, and Silla just comes out of nowhere. Just completely knocks him out. Gabe York now comes off one screen, throws the lob down low. The big fella, Drake Grant's got to go up with it. In and around, doesn't get it. Rebound by Thompson. Well, this is where they got to be better in transition now. Filou Oostende, if they're not going to shoot the ball well from the perimeter, they got to make things happen now. Jordan spins around, and the veteran misses a layup. Thompson goes up. He can't get the putback. And they've got to be more clinical. I mean, those are good opportunities that they need to take if they're going to get back in this game. Djordjevic now thought about pulling the trigger. Cross court to Silla. Silla's made 1-3, takes another one. Downtown, Silla nails it. Cuts it down to a 4-point ball game. Well, that's a better look now for Filou Oostende. And now SIG Strasbourg have to respond. It's now baseline. Well, hooked him. It's got to be. Well, he caught a shooting foul, but definitely looked like there was a slight hook. I mean, it's a great move by Shrub. Definitely beat Jean-Marc Moena. He's wrapped around there. I mean, that's a very interesting situation. I would have possibly thought he could have got called for the offensive foul on the hook, but nonetheless, he's going to go to the free throw line now for 2 shots. The Canadian international Thomas Shrub from Richmond, British Columbia. Played in the Canadian basketball system at Carleton. In the city of Ottawa now, started his professional career in Kataya, who had 1 season in the Basketball Champions League in the inaugural year. And moved over to Germany, had a season, also played for Sidicus Avellino, who was another team in the Basketball Champions League. And now this is first year in France. He makes the second free throw. Well, they turn it over again, and that's just a careless turnover. Well, Djordjevic, we talk about the experience. I mean, that's a case where he's got to take care of the ball. Shrub now goes baseline, steps back, takes a 15 feet, doesn't get it. Gabriel comes up with a loose ball. Now he got 14 on the shot clock. Just comes off the foot of Silla, so it'll be a fresh on the 14. In the corner now to Gabe York. Little cross-court pass in. Makes the contact.
Second foul by number 16, Sam Robert.
Well, there's Dallo coming off the screen. A slight push, but again, Drake Grant is causing all sorts of problems in the low block for Filou Oostende. They lead this one by 6 points, 37-31. Grant now looking for a handoff. Sets one screen with Dallo. Dallo down the lane, throws a lob, and it gets blocked well. Drake Grant is going to throw it down with the alley-oop. And Leonard just gave up a fast break opportunity. Down low to Thompson. Thompson seals him off. That is the first team foul. Well, now Djordjevic on the ball, throws down low to Thompson. Thompson turns around, jump hook with that left hand. He really loves it. As soon as he gets it, spins right to his left and just gives it a sweet little touch. Now moves up to 7 points. He's 3 for 7 from the field, shooting 43%. Gabe York on the ball. Able to keep his dribble alive after the deflection from Jean-Marc Moena. On the shot clock now, pump face. Drake Grant goes in, response down the other end, and we got a battle of the big men. In a minute, it's all about Siobhan Thompson, and Drake Grant just comes in. Gives him a Kevin McHale sort of finger roll, and he moves to 6 points. So it gets a handoff with Jean-Marc Moena in the corner. Vanderverse. Djordjevic down low to Thompson. Again, they're trying to force the issue, but wasn't ready for the pass. And again, it was a tough situation. Well, it's a good look, actually. I mean, the thing is, Siobhan Thompson's working so hard in the low block, and he's really the first threat Filou Oostende have got coming in this game as Angola checks back in. And Jean-Marc Moena goes to the bench. Goes up to York now. York in the lane. York with no room to get the shot off. 6 on the shot clock now for Strasbourg. We got to get something going. Goes in all the way. Left hand doesn't get it. Big rebound by Thompson. Gives up to Silla. Silla gives up behind the back pass, and Djordjevic kicks out Silla. Well, had their three-point shot, didn't take it. It was turned over. Thompson keeps alive, and the big man is keeping Filou Oostende in this game. He's got such big, strong presence in the low block and good hands. Djordjevic just reaches on Dallo. Dallo off one screen, pick and pop with Traore. Traore backs down against Thompson in the lane, doesn't get it. Gets another rebound. Kicks out Djordjevic down the lane. Thompson gonna give it an easy throwdown. The assist coming from Djordjevic, and this man is taking this game off. Penetration, dish off, one result, easy throwdown. In the lane, takes it, doesn't get it. In the lane, unable to get it. And goes out of bounds. It will be you can see, well, English just dipped his hand in, and again, that could be a very interesting situation. He's got 2 seconds to get it inbound, and just able to get it into Angola. Well, backs down against Gabe York. Throws a lob pass, surely no way, doesn't get it. And now transition. Well, York crosses over, kicks out to Reynolds. Reynolds gets a foul early. That was the penetration against lazy defense. And again, that's another risky situation where Vanderbilt could have got called for the foul. Unsportsmanlike. York now double crossover, draws another foul. That's going to be 2 free throws. Did it go out of bounds? I'm not too sure. I think the official did call for a foul, but it's just gone out of bounds off the foot of Jean-Marc Moena. There's an efficient off to Dallo. Dallo goes in. Has a pump fake, strong move off the backboard. Well, sorry, Inglis. Looking in so aggressively. Just made that slight little hang in the air with the left hand. Vanderbilt now comes off one screen. Pumps, puts in, hangs in the air. Strong move by the young Belgian guard. And that's one way to attack the zone. You see what he loves to do every time he gets in the lane is just hang in the air, make that contact. He's now 2 for 6 from the field. Moves up to 4 points. Scores now 41-39. York now kicks this one out. Down low to Traore. Traore goes baseline, jump hook, doesn't get it. Big rebound by Jean-Marc Moena. Now Vanderbilt will slow this one down. Tying the game up with a 2, but they can take the lead with a 3-pointer, but they haven't shot a lot of threes tonight. Vanderbilt in the lane. Vanderbilt all the way, ties this one at a 41 apiece. Again, it's just simple penetration in the air. Hangs again and again. How has he not made enough contact to get the foul? Because really he's looking for that contact, but Gabe York now in the lane. Gabe York with a little teardrop floater. Gabe York now is going to work. And that's the thing about the former Lakeland Magic player. Top scorer in this game so far with 11 points. He's 3 for 6 from the field. In the lane. Oh, baby! What a throwdown! It was only a matter of time. Just took one step off the pass, and he ripped the I mean, look at this. Pass from Van der Vos. Up, and away. You gotta love this man. Down the middle now. Shrub kicks this one. Traoré misses last 3 shots. Misses another one. And now Filou Oostende can take the lead. Silla's made 2 threes. Well, it didn't take it. Down to the big fella. Oh, he gets stripped. And now Scotty Reynolds. It's a 2-on-3 situation. Shrub in transition. Misses a layup. A sloppy play. And now with just under 2 minutes, Filou Oostende have another opportunity to take the lead. Van der Vos now. Another turnover. And what we got here, bit of contact all the way, lays it up this time. Well, in the lane, Silla now lays it up, gets down one. And now he's going to go to the free throw line to make it a 3-point play. He did so well, time and space, hung in the air and just somehow got it to drop.
Second final number 7 minutes.
Well, now here's a chance for Filou Oostende to get the lead back. They haven't had the lead since the first quarter of this game where they held a 7-0 lead, but against SIG Strasbourg, have let this game slip. Still way off the mark on the free throw, but it stays a tied game of 45 apiece with under a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. York now goes baseline. Heavily guarded by Jean-Marc Moena. Traoré now is going to back down against Siobhan Thompson. Down the middle, Traoré again misses 5 in a row now. Traoré really struggling in the low block. Van der Vos up to Silla. Easy dunk. It is showtime. Filou Oostende basketball running the fast break. Well, I said at the beginning of the third quarter, you're not going to shoot the ball well from the perimeter. You've got to run the break going like James Worthy. I mean, that is an LA Laker former 1980s in the jersey of Filou Oostende. You got to love it. Timeout now to SIG Strasbourg.
Here on the side, we must move the ball more to attack with quickness. We have bonus, but we move them front. We will never get
Vincent Collet, you can see they're absolutely furious with their transition defense. I mean, at the moment, SIG Strasbourg 45% from within the rainbow, while Filou Oostende 53, shooting 18 for 34 from the field. In the rain, they have hit 2 3-pointers, and that's down to Silla right now, who's just looking for an MVP in this game at the moment. Well, the atmosphere here getting absolutely heated up now. As you can see, the Filou Oostende have changed their approach in this game. All of a sudden, giving these fans something to cheer and play for. Just under a minute to go now in the third quarter. Gabe York on the ball. Is going to go pick and roll with Drake Grant. Steps back, takes a force 3. It's way off the mark. Van der Vos did have the option there in transition, but didn't take his chances. Silla, who's probably been their best player so far in the third quarter, along with Siobhan Thomas, who's just gone to the bench. Van der Vos now comes off one screen. Well, he pulls up for a 3-pointer, and he nails it from downtown, and he puts Filou Oostende up by 5 points. Well, maybe history's not going to repeat itself after all here in the Flounders country. Van der Vos has gone up to 9 points. He's 1 for 2 from the perimeter. Pick and pop Drake Grant, looking for a handoff with Gabe York. 10-minute shot clock now. York crosses over, steps back, pump fakes, steps through. Gabe York is simply cash money right at the end of the third quarter. Van der Vos throws it up. And that is how the third quarter ends. As Filou Oostende taking a bit of control, but Gabe York, magical play, crossover, shimmies, pump fakes, steps through like Stephen Curry. It's good. You gotta love Gabe York. Well, there is Vanderbilt down there for downtown. That's only the third three-pointer made by Filou Oostende in this game. Well, so far, both teams now just starting to light it up a little bit better from the perimeter. Filou Oostende made 2 3-pointers in that quarter. Strasbourg only 4 for 12, but again, just starting to spark into life. Well, Quinton Serrano, who didn't play in the third quarter, now checks back in. And that was the man who broke the hearts of all of his hometown fans. You remember, he started at this club and is definitely, as mentioned, a loyal fan, but had to, as we mentioned, make the three-pointer to prevent them from getting through to the next round last season. Down low, the big fella. Drake right now off the backboard, nails it, ties the game up with 50 apiece, and maybe, just maybe, will history repeat itself? Remember, as we mentioned last season, Filou Oostende won 6 out of the last 7, and we're only 1 victory away for qualifying out of the regular season. But it was Quinton Serrano who hit that three-pointer, sent the game. Silas made 2 3-pointers, doesn't get that one. Drake Graham with the three-pointer. And it was that three-pointer sending the game into overtime. SIG Strasbourg getting that victory and prevented Filou Oostende for the 3rd season in the lane. Bit of contact, doesn't get the and one. And now he's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Well, Dallo made the beautiful pass in the lane, and again, it was a simple cut going to the basket by Damian Inglis.
Foul number 16,
Well, Damian Inglis, originally from French Guiana, started his pro career in France, had a brief stint with the Milwaukee Bucks and a few teams in the NBA G League. This is now his 2nd stint with SIG Strasbourg, having played for them in the Basketball Champions League and the French Professional League back in the 2017-18 regular season. I'll make the free throw. It's 1 for 2 and gives SIG Strasbourg a 1-point lead. Jean-Marc Moena wasn't too happy about the bit of contact he got there from Dallo. Moena now doesn't use a screen, but goes all the way. Gets off. What a pass in the lane. He's got to finish it. Doesn't make the layup, but what a pass by Jean-Marc Moena. You know, Strasbourg could push. Serrano down low. Beautiful pass to Damian Inglis. Drake Grant pump fakes, goes in with a simple finger roll, and he gives SIG Strasbourg a 3-point lead. Look at this. Simply dish off. Pump fakes in the air. Steps around. Beautiful finger roll. Well, we got a timeout now to Filou Oostende, who were leading by 5 points, and all of a sudden find themselves down by 3.
Brian, for some, huh? Go bien. Get him, baby, come on. Hey, when they first watch now, weak side, these backs.
Well, if we look at the rebounds right now, Filou Oostende out winning these ones 31-22, but right now, you want to get Siobhan Thompson back into the game, because when he was in there at the beginning of the second half, he was causing all sorts of problems for SIG Strasbourg.
Okay, in offense,
case of the, there we go, two players who have made three-point field goals this evening for Filou Oostende. You got to get out in the fast break as much as possible and don't allow SIG Strasbourg to get into the half-court set defense. You see Strasbourg doing the opposite. They're getting out in front transition and really making them pay in the low block. So this is now a big, big time for Filou Oostende. Will history repeat itself after the heartbreaking, disappointing defeat that they suffered by SIG Strasbourg? Remember, these two teams met on opening day of the Basketball Champions League. Well, Siobhan Thompson's come back into the game and probably going to try and assert some authority in the low block. And there is one player that hasn't been too effective this evening, but Filou Oostende won't worry about that. It's probably the shot he takes at the end of the game they'll be more concerned about. Thompson now getting a handoff with Angola. Angola taking in with his right. Strong move off the backboard. Gets the one. And he's going to go to the free throw line. A chance to tie this game up. A strong, aggressive move. Just split two defenders and just gave it a little kiss off the glass. Brian Angola. Well, the man who played his university basketball, Florida State. Last year had that brief stint in the NBA G League with the Lakeland Magic. Ties the game up 53 apiece. Here's the fourth quarter, game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. Scotty Reynolds now in the lane, gives up to Drake Grant. Drake Grant in the lane, Drake Grant doesn't get it. Big rebound by Silla. Now Filou Oostende have the opportunity to take the lead again with Vanderverse on the ball. Ola now pulls up for a deep three. Nails it for downtown. Nothing but net. Big time three-pointer. And now only the third player for Filou Oostende to hit a three-point field goal in this game. It's only their fourth three-point field goal as a team collectively. Still Filou Oostende. Reynolds now steps back, big time three-pointer, and he ties it up. Two teams who couldn't buy a three-point shot in the first half, all of a sudden playing with a lot of confidence. Scotty Reynolds now 2 for 4 from the field. Both of them three-point field goals. He has 6 points in the game. Jean-Marc Moine now probably looking to isolate against Quentin Serrant. Remember, these two teammates at the youth level for Belgian national basketball. In the lane, what a pass. Gets the one. Siobhan Thompson taking this game over as he did in the third quarter. What a pass by Jean-Marc Moine. Spins around in the lane and just gives it up. Leaves it off the glass. Well, there was the big-time three-pointer by Brian Angola from downtown, and Scotty Reynolds with the step back with his second tray ball. That's a big free throw for Siobhan Thompson. Jamaican international nails the free throw. Big run now, top of the lane, looking for a handoff. I want to pass it to on the shot clock now. He's got to kick this one out. Big three-pointer. Can Reynolds make it? Doesn't get it. They get an offensive rebound, and Shrub goes in for the follow-up. Cuts it down to a one-point ball game. Well, Thompson just fumbles it and goes out of bounds, and it's a costly turnover for Filou Oostende. In the lane now, kicks this one out. Scotty Reynolds goes baseline, gives a bit of shake and bake in the corner to Shrub. Shrub goes down the middle, kicks this one out. Jeremy and Zuli in the lane. Almost fumbles it on the ground. Another turnover. And now Angola can push the transition. Angola all the way. Makes a bit of contact. Well, he's going to go back to the free throw line now for 2 shots. And that's a lot better. Transition for Filou Oostende. But again, SIG Strasbourg had so many opportunities there. So many good looks. And Angola faked the pass to Jean-Marc Moena.
Number 11, score, first foul.
Well, there was a turnover at the end of the shot clock. And again, you talk about a team with a lot of perimeter threats. I mean, Schraub as well can nail them, but it looks like Dre Grant's just gone down with a bit of a head injury, and that's going to be a huge loss for SIG Strasbourg if he has to come out of the game. There you can see Nzuli with the turnover, and again, it's just a contact Nzuli's made, but it's unintentional. Of course, it's own teammate, but just a little bit of a freak accident, to say the least. Well, 2 free throws now for Ryan Angola. Again, he's made a big difference here in the 4th quarter in transition and making that big 3, but he missed the free throw. Again, free throws just so big at this level. You got to make your free throws. Well, now takes the second one, makes it 2 from the free throw line. It gives him a 2-point lead. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Game day of the Basketball Champions League. Lane now makes a bit of contact, and they call a traveling violation, and what a turnover by Traore. What's the right call? Well, I don't know, actually. I mean, yes, he's taking a step, but it's almost like he's trying to put the ball down, but I believe it is a travel, but it's a very tough one, to say the least. Ryan Angola now gives up the Vanderverse. 5.5 to go in the 4th quarter. Filou Oostende lead this one by 2 points. They turn it over now. Transition, Scotty Reynolds lays it up, and he ties the game up at 60 apiece. And that's just a careless turnover. What a pass by Gabe York. Gabe York does have great vision just to spot the runner ahead. Well, another steal now. Scotty Reynolds gets his hand in the cookie jar. Reynolds all the way, gets rejected. What a block by Ryan Angola. Well, Angola just made up for the defensive effort to stop them taking a 2 lead all the way. Not in my house, says Angola. No, senor. You are not welcome. Jeremy Nzuli gets it in now to Gabe York, and that's the 4th steal for Filou Oostende. Sorry, the 8th steal, and again, it's a 5th steal for Filou Oostende. 8 now in the game for SIG Strasbourg. Angola goes baseline, dish it off. On lane's got to go up in it, off the backboard, way off the mark. Tips it out of bounds, and it will be SIG Strasbourg ball. It's timeout now to SIG Strasbourg. We got a tie game with 4:44 to go now here in the 4th quarter. SIG Strasbourg 5 for 14 for the perimeter, while Filou Oostende are 4 for 12, but both teams not a lot of difference in the percentages. Hence why we are tied in this game.
Don't work too fast. Okay,
Right now, X's and O's really are going to be so much the difference, but it's going to be the execution. Who can come out and really make the big shot? But will history repeat itself?
Short hold doesn't work against this team, okay? If they are only to make, I know. If he stops here, he's good. He's okay. I gotta stop. On va arrêter avant. On va arrêter avant. Ouais, mais loupette normalement.
His home crowd now getting into this game. So they come off now one screen, and there Traore under the basket. Missed it wide open, but they caught a foul. So now Shrub's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots, and that is a huge, huge play. Well, these are big, big free throws now for Shrub. So the Canadian International has to step up and make these to give them that 1-point lead with just under 4.5 to go. Takes the first free throw, nails it. Coach Dario now will be very frustrated because when the shot went up, and you've got to put a body up and secure the rebounds, and this is where fatigues and little mental errors can cost them as Schwab doesn't. But another offensive rebound, doesn't get the tip back. And Filou Oostende get out of jail with that one. 1-point lead now to SIG Strasbourg. Down low to the big fella. Big fella now backs down against Jeremy and Zud, but they call the foul. And that's only the 4th team foul, so they're 1 foul away from getting in the penalty. We get inbound now with Siobhan Thompson. Another turnover now. SIG Strasbourg. It's a 3-on-2 with Shrub. Scotty Reynolds. Gabe York with the throwdown in transition. Fast break basketball. SIG Strasbourg. This is beautiful. One pass. Scotty Reynolds. And then Gabe York with the cherry on the top of the cake. You gotta love this kid. He is on fire. Oh, what a play by Gabe York just to run the fast break. And that's not the first time we have seen SIG Strasbourg just get out in transition, show that Showtime basketball. Now it's a 3-point lead to the visitors.
Selling the balls like we are the variable of the game. Listen. Amar.
Well, you can see the rebounds right now. Again, going in favor of Filou Oostende, but again, it's just like a roller coaster in this game. In each quarter, one team just seems to build the momentum, but right now the momentum is going in favor of SIG Strasbourg. He just won by 3 just over 4 minutes ago now here in the 4th quarter. Game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. Will history repeat itself? We will find out.
That means you need to open, Shamar. That means you need to follow. So we transfer down corners. Go. Okay, follow.
Well, now just over 4 minutes, as we said already. Filou Oostende trailed by 3 points. Djordjevic is back in the game. His pick and roll with Siobhan Thompson. Angola down the middle. Angola, a bit of contact in the lane. Doesn't get it. Draws a foul, but now Ryan Angola will go to the free throw line for 2 shots, and these are big, big free throws. Well, again, such a versatile wing player, just able to get in the lane and make that contact, and these are big, big free throws. We got to think in college when he was at Florida State, he was averaging just 12 points per game with 3 rebounds and 3 assists, and yeah, was part of a team that made the Elite Eight, but right now it's his professional career. He wants to be known as a player who could possibly lead this team into the Final Four, if not of the Champions League, but missed the free throw. It goes out of bounds, and it will be SIG Strasbourg ball. 3:51 to go here in the fourth quarter. They got Silla back in the game, and just to give a bit of full court pressure. Now, the good thing for Filou Oostende is they've only got 2 team fouls, so once we chase the game, they can take a few gambles. But for SIG Strasbourg, already putting them in the penalty, so they cannot afford to give any more fouls up. Skip Reynolds now gives up Traore, goes in with a circus shot, still hasn't scored, and now Filou Oostende can tie the game up or take the lead with a 3. Goal off one screen now, gives up to Djordjevic, cross now to Silla. Here's Angola time. He's going to isolate. Goes in with his left. Angola goes in. Left hand. Doesn't get it. No basket. Big rebound by Scotty Reynolds. And there's now a bit of contact, but he draws a foul on Jean-Marc Moina. There you go. Talk about only the second team foul. Moves up to 3. So not a bad foul by Jean-Marc Moina. That smart move by Scotty Reynolds now just to beat him off the spot. And again, if Strasbourg want to seal this game off, they're going to want to get in the penalty too, and they're 2 fouls away from doing that. Reynolds now goes out of bounds, still by Djordjevic, and now big play, almost gets stripped by Gabe York, goes out of bounds, and they keep it alive somehow. Hustle play in the corner, York, big 3, doesn't get it. Thompson with a big rebound. Filou Oostende get out of jail yet again, with 2:45 now to go here in the fourth quarter. Djordjevic now looking to give the ball up. Nobody to pass to Angola. 6 on the shot clock. Angola now, bit of contact in the lane. Got to go up, and it's got to shoot it. Force it up. 24-second violation. Another turnover to Filou Oostende. Well, there was a steal. I mean, look at this for hustle play. On the floor, you can see Scotty Reynolds giving it up now. And they made that 3-pointer. That officially would have been curtains out. Give a hand up. Gabe York tries another 3. Oh, baby! Gabe York, dagger to the heart here in the Flounders country. Big time shot, big time player. You gotta love this guy. Well, that is the one player they didn't want to give the 3-point shot off to, and it was Gabe York. Gola now kicks out to Silla. 8 on the shot clock. Silla steps back, 15-foot jump shot, doesn't get it. Big rebound, Scotty Reynolds. 1:45 to go here. SIG Strasbourg lead this one by 5 points. Reynolds now off one screen, gives up to Traore. Traore pump fakes. Looking for the hand up, backdoor. Gabe York. Gabe York gets fouled. And Gabe York, literally Mr. Reliable, Mr. Clutch, Mr. Crunch Time, will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Second foul, number 9, Jean-Marc.
York missed the first free throw, and again, you talk about closing this game out. Got to make your shots. The former Ike and Matty Byroyd player, again, making that big 3-pointer. It's a second free throw. Well, just gets the drop on him, but missing both. They give up another offensive rebound. And Filou Oostende really just don't do themselves any favors. This is Gabe York time, taking up against Silla, looking to take that shot, but turns it over. And you can see what he was doing. He was trying to take the 3-point, but was that the right choice to make? Well, there was the free throw, and they just able to tip it out, but Gabe York, just too many dribbles, and just turns it over. And now Filou Oostende get out of jail yet again. The question is, can they take this opportunity to get themselves back in? They're down by 5. There's over a minute to go now.
This is inbounder Brad. Pass. Run, waiting 1 second. Cross screen for Jean-Marc. If they switch.
There you can see the percentages. SIG Strasbourg 6 for 16. That last big one coming from Gabe York that gave them that 5-point lead, while Filou Oostende only 4 3-pointers. Only 3 players who shot the ball from the perimeter this evening.
can talk a big. You roll. Okay? Aye.
Well, now it's a big possession now. Djordjevic with the ball in his hands. 1:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. His team trail by 5. Must get something out of his possession. Off to Angola. Angola forces a three-pointer. Doesn't make it. Again, a forced shot. Did he need to take it? You talk about getting out of jail and just coming up with loose balls. And again, they just don't take the right shot on offense. And Coach Dario, you can see how furious he is. Under a minute to go. Strasbourg lead this one by 5. Reynolds almost turned it over again, but it comes off the foot, so it will be a fresh 14 on the shot clock. Well, sideline ball now to SIG Strasbourg with 49 seconds to go. They lead this one by 5 points. Game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League. This game, a lot of history to it. Remember last season, it was SIG Strasbourg who broke the hearts of Filou Oostende. A 3 by Scotty Reynolds. Another turnover to Filou Oostende. Now we reach into the last 30 seconds, and again, SIG Strasbourg with a chance to close this game out. Reynolds going all the way to the basket. And that might be the curtain call there. You can see that was a big, big play, but now with Filou Oostende taking it in the lane, and well, this is a situation where Filou Oostende has to realize, you know, where to move on next. They got to be more clinical coming into these games and making sure that they those games out. I mean, they started so well in the third quarter, but again, it just caught up to them. Well, Gabe York was the player that really, in my mind, closed this game out with the big three-pointer. But I mean, there's 21 seconds to go. You can see Brian Angola is at the free throw line, but you know, a case here where they had so many chances to get themselves back in the game, and he missed the free throw. Well, it's a tough one now for Filou Oostende, because case now with 21 seconds to go, and you're down by 7 points. Well, he makes a second one, and now it's a 6-point game with 18 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Reynolds now tries to isolate, steps back, takes a three-pointer. Big play by Scotty Reynolds, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us. But at the end of this one, it will be SIG Strasbourg 71, Filou Oostende 62, and it's all over here in game day of the Basketball Champions League. History did repeat itself. Gabe York came big in the end, made that three-pointer, and put him up by 5 points, and sealed the deal for Strasbourg. Quinton Saron didn't have the best of nights, but knew his team would come up with a big result, to say the least. We'll just show you some stats and some highlights from this game, of course, but again, what a game it was. Saron, as we mentioned, a player that grew up here in this area of Belgium, playing for this team as a youth player. He's a teammate with Jean-Marc Buena in the youth system, who won the under 18 Division B championship in the summer of 2007, where they played together with players like Anthony Chada. Now Quinton Saron, Belgium at the men's level, in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, and now hopefully going to help start SIG Strasbourg season into gear. Strasbourg have come here big, and they've come here with a victory. Well, you can see Gabe York exchanging jerseys, and Coach Dario will be thinking, fourth season, not looking good now going into the second part. But Angola and York exchange jerseys, show pay the homage to each other. And that is the ball game here tonight in Belgium. Well, there you can see some stats from the game. Both teams shooting very similar percentages. But in the end, it was SIG Strasbourg who came up with the victory, with also leading with 17 assists, and did lose out on the rebounds 32-35. Filou Oostende will be very disappointed going in the next game, knowing that they've got an uphill battle to go. Gabe York, top scorer in the game with 19 points. Shot the ball very well from the perimeter. That is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Osilla was their top three-point shooter. He had 2 3-point field goals, but it just wasn't enough. We'll show you some highlights from the game, but Strasbourg, as we mentioned, came here big tonight and really did dig this one deep. If you think about where next for these two teams, well, I mean, it only gets harder at this level, but SIG Strasbourg has been a team that's been very successful in the Basketball Champions League, and last year wasn't a very good season for them, but yeah, maybe this victory will turn their fortunes and change their outcomes, how this season goes. But they got to make sure they come every night on a consistent basis, week in, week out here in the Champions League. Remember, these two teams, they did meet in game day 1 of the Basketball Champions League, where Strasbourg did win at home 77-64. Again, they've come here and done the double on Filou Oostende. It's almost like they're a bogey team to them. Well, next week, Filou Oostende, as we mentioned, will play the team directly below them here in Group A, Unechulon, as they travel to the center of Israel to take on the mighty Purple and Yellows. And that is really a must-win for them. Well, for Strasbourg, looking a little bit better now. Next week, they can look to play at home at the Rennes Sport Arena, and they'll be taking on Polski Tsukia Torunia. Only one can imagine, will this change their fortunes around? Will this help propel their season moving forward, as they now move to 4-4 here after game day 8 of the Basketball Champions League? Well, Filou Oostende now moved to 3-5, and things looking very bleak, of course, for the team here in the Flounders of Belgium. Well, quite a competitive group they've got here. I mean, you think from position 4 all the way down to position 7, all the teams with quite similar records, of course. It will be changing. Lea Kabalis just holding on to that 4th place position. But it'll all be changes and things to work here in the Basketball Champions League. Well, there was the 3-point shot from Gabe York that really just set this game away, and again, just made it very impossible. It was a game where you could see teams mentally very fatigued and just trying to get over that final round, but it was the 3-point shooting that wasn't great from either team that just sort of sealed the deal in the end of this one. Well, there you can see the standings. Bakshi Maresa, top of the league right now. Joint records with Turk Telecom, while Dinamo Sassari as well. 6 wins and 2 losses. This is a very competitive Group A. SIG Strasbourg just moving to 4th place now, going up to 4-4. They take over Lea Kabalis, and that is how it stands here. Unechulon as well. All those 3 teams, 3 wins and 5 losses. We thank you for joining us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Game day of the Basketball Champions League. We'll see you next week for game day 9. It is good night here